Hi, this is Gene Basler. I'm in North Harris County, Texas, north of Houston, and I'm here with Carol Fraser and we're going to talk about the Harris County Water Conservation Garden. Thanks for taking the time to speak to me, Carol.
Delighted to do so.
All right, what do we got going on here?
We've got two different ways of collecting water that we would like to talk to people about. The first way is the traditional. It comes out of your faucet and it has been treated by your water company. The second way is it comes from the sky and it's called rainwater, and we capture as much of it as we can and distribute it. And then there's a third option. If you do not live in the city of Houston but you live in the county, you can access the AC line and actually collect the condensate from your AC.
And why do you have to live in a special place for that?
And because it's not allowed by code in the city of Houston.
And why not?
That's a really good question.
Why indeed, right?
Why
okay.
Indeed. The best, almost the purest water that you can collect, and we put it down the sewer system.
So somebody benefits from that restriction, don't you think? There's got to be somebody, or it wouldn't be there.
Well, I think that it's an issue of people being concerned about water in their attics or water somewhere where they don't want water.
Mold.
Yes, mold. Any kind of bacteria is a problem. Any kind of growth is a problem. People are afraid of nature, basically. Okay. And so when you get in an urban area and you don't understand our relationship to it or the relationship of life to each other, then you have a fear and you really want to get everything off your property and get it away and not be responsible for it and not have to see it.
Now you're touching on my next question, which is why is it important to conserve water? I mean, I came from San Antonio and moved to Houston. It was super important to conserve water there, but it rains all the time here. Why do we care if we collect rainwater?
Conserving water isn't really what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the economics of water and the idea that maybe water is a finite resource, which we are now saying. There was a point in time when we said water was a renewable resource and it didn't matter. Now even the state of Texas, the Texas Water Development Board, says water is a finite resource and we are going to run out.
And it's about time somebody caught on to that, right?
Oh yes, it's past time.
All right, so I'm going to pan, and if it's all right with you, I'm going to start with these rain barrels.
Sure.
And tell me a little bit about these. Or these? Now, did you originally do all of this on paper, or did you start piece by piece? These are, what do we have here? Let's look at these rain barrels.
We did it as a plan. We have planned it according to the different ideas that we wanted to develop. The two rain barrels right here are fed, the two green ones are fed by our air conditioning condensate. So you can see the white pipe that comes out of the air conditioning condensate on the back of the building.
Okay. Okay, so this little piece of PVC.
That little piece of PVC produces these two barrels full of water about once a month. So when your water bill is highest because of peak periods and demands, we are collecting the result of your use of energy in the barrel so that you can put it on your ground and not have an additional water bill that's high as well as your electric
bill. And if you weren't collected, it would just evaporate?
No, it wouldn't. It would go down your sewer system.
Goes down the sewer system?
Goes down the sewer system. This particular blue barrel was made by a young man who worked with us last summer. So
this is repurposing, so this is recycling, huh?
This is recycling. He built this barrel for, I think it was about $35. We use it to catch the water from the gutter. And at this point in time, as dry as it has been this spring, there's a lot less water in this barrel than there is repeatedly in that barrel. Because these barrels, two green ones, fill, oh, it's full now. The two green ones fill every time you turn on your air conditioning. This
I see.
Only fills when it rains.
Wow. And so if I lived in unincorporated Harris County, I could collect my condensate?
Yes, you could.
But if I lived in the city of Houston, I could not?
Not at this point in time. There is a code. And I'm sure it was a health issue or something that somebody a while ago was concerned about.
It just needs to be overcome.
Yes, it does.
So that's just a matter of time. Okay. All right. Tell us more. Tell us more about the whole idea. Was there a portion of this that you had to pitch to the board?
Come and see one of our other really neat things.
Okay.
No, I would say it wasn't pitched to the board. I would say I'm really, really lucky to work with a group of people who have ideas and who want to see things happen and who have investigated on their own options to the traditional way of doing things. This is a setup for a newly planted tree. I'm not going to take anybody on about planting trees, but So many times people plant a tree and they're so excited about it, but they don't maintain the tree and it dies. If you drive along the freeway,
Stick it in the ground and forget about it?
stick it in the ground and forget about it. You can't do that. So you have to nurture it a little bit for 2 or 3 years. This is a plastic bucket with a drip system installed in it and a filter so that it doesn't go bad.
Okay.
The filter system is
There's a filter.
and
So this is about a 2.5 gallon or 3 gallon, maybe even 5 gallon bucket.
and there's a valve on it so that you can turn it off when your bucket gets full. So,
I see.
And then it's surrounded with the chimney flue to make it more attractive so you don't have a white plastic bucket sitting out in your yard. This system fills with the rainwater,
Okay.
and then it takes 24 hours for it to drain. So we turn off the valve once it's full.
I'm going to try to focus on the valve real quick for everybody's benefit. Just give me one quick second here. So this is outside going to the drip system for the tree.
Yes.
And inside the chimney sleeve is that's the handle of the bucket.
Okay, can you see the valve?
There's the valve. Okay, here's the valve. I can see the valve. I just tried to get it on camera. So it's a
there's-
small little thumb operated valve.
That's right. then
And
there's the
inside the bucket is the filter.
Uh-huh.
So this captures rainwater
filter.
and keeps
this,
the root ball soaked.
keeps this Mexican plum alive without a whole lot of work for at least 2 years. As long as we fill the bucket routinely, the tree will have water.
Excellent.
And when it's rainwater, it's just the best we can possibly do.
So it could conceivably, if you had, a small property with a rainwater and air conditioner condensate capture system, you could conceivably tie it in with a series of small hoses.
You sure could. You
Right.
could. Yes. Be perfect.
Okay, good. Very nice.
Let's look at one other issue. Homeowners associations are not too happy usually with environmentally sound practices.
Yeah,
So-
they're pretty slow to come along
They sure are.
and cooperate when people are trying to make their homes more sustainable.
Yes, they absolutely are down on record as being more difficult rather than helpful. This is an example of a rain chain. The rain chain is a traditional Japanese item that came off of the temples.
Yes?
It softens the fall of water. It doesn't actually impact it. It doesn't collect it. But by the time the rain has worked its way down the chain, you can deliver it either here, if this is where you want the water to be, or you can deliver it to the bird bath. And it just slowly trickles down so there's no erosion caused by the power of the water when it comes through the gutter.
And you can collect it and distribute
Yes,
it.
you can, yes.
Very nice.
And it's very pretty. This one isn't a really beautiful one, but there are beautiful ones.
I've seen some pretty ones before, and I note that it's tied into a traditional gutter system.
Yes, it is. And we have that on the back and the front of the house. This is a rain barrel in the front of the house that is masked with a lattice structure.
Okay, yeah, I see. So it's, and you could grow a plant around it in a espalier.
You can, and by summertime, a passion vine has grown up and covered it all, so you don't even know that it's.
And your homeowner association would drive by and not even notice that you violated the deed restriction.
That's what you would hope, yes. Yes, absolutely. Okay, one other item.
Okay.
This is a piece of tubing that you can buy at Lowe's or at Home Depot and put on the end of your downspout and direct the water wherever you'd like it to be. And usually the concern is to keep it away from the edge of the house
Yes?
for maybe $10. You can easily accomplish that without doing much of anything except a small purchase.
So do you have this here for demonstration purposes? I was wondering why you don't have a rain barrel here.
We have this here for demonstration
Okay.
purposes. Now the last thing that we do, and I don't know if you can catch this on camera or not.
Oh, were we going to talk about the fishing net?
Yes.
Some
well,
litter bug left.
I think so, huh? That's a burlap.
Okay, so this is a erosion control
This is an erosion
setup.
control. That's exactly what it is. Almost everybody who has gutters on their house hates the process of cleaning gutters, and we have all kinds of ideas about putting pieces of plastic in them so that they don't fill with leaves.
Screens, gutter guards, you name
and
it.
none of them work terribly well. So this is, okay, we know that that's going to happen, and we know our gutter's going to overflow. And when your gutter overflows, your house gets wet, your ground gets too soggy, and you have erosion. So this bed right here addresses all three of those things. Where our gutter overflows is usually that low spot right there.
So the low spot, like dead center between the overhang and the
Yep,
edge.
is the low spot in the gutter. So the water pours heavily down into the bull rock, and as you can see, some of it has eroded, but that's where it goes to begin with.
Okay.
Then we slanted the land. We built 3 islands for the Yukon hollies. We slanted the land so that the water flows into the lower areas and circulates all around the bed. And then we planted native plants, wildflowers, weeds, whatever you want to call them, in place over the burlap, which we used to hold the soil in place until the plant life is taken off.
Right, so once the rooting structure of the plant material that you put in the ground takes over the erosion control task, this is a, you know, biodegradable,
yes,
perfectly safe, harmless.
Rope.
Yeah.
Plant material. Sure is. Everything
Excellent.
is biodegradable.
All right, good. So let's turn the camera back around in the sun. And I want to say thank you to Carol for taking the time to show us this.
You are sure welcome.
Again, this is the Harris County Water Conservation Garden. And do you do classes here? Do you have a website?
We don't do any of that yet, but we're working on it.
You're working on turning this into a classroom and inviting students? And
yes, and constituents of the water district.
Excellent.
And anyone is welcome to come and just look around, but we're not.
Okay, but you really are for constituents of your water district, and it's like a one of those utility district parks that's strictly for the use of those residents.
Not strictly.
Okay.
But it is purposefully for the use.
Purposely built for the constituents of this particular water conservation district.
Yes.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me.
Thank you.
I'm Gene Basler. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment in the comment section, or send a question to info@wideworldoftrees.com. Thank you.